All right. Is everyone settled in? Madam Ogala, are you settled in? Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I would like to call the Will County Board Executive Committee meeting to order at 10:45 a.m. And I would like to ask Assistant State's Attorney Erica Hammer to lead us in the pledge, if you will. Thank you. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Erica, you're fairly new, so that's one of my things. I like to call on people at random to lead us, so sorry for the embarrassment. Can I have a roll call, please?
Richmond, Williams, Butler, Dean Schlotman, Freeman, Hickey, Logan, Newquist, Ortiz, Pretzel, Trinier, Richmond, Van Dyne.
Yes, here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Approval of minutes, looking for a motion to approve the executive committee meeting minutes for 9/11. Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Any discussion on the minutes? Roll call, please.
Richmond, Williams, Butler, Dean Schlotman, Freeman, Hickey, Logan, Newquist, Ortiz, Pretzel, Trinier, Van Dyne.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Motion carries. Thank you. Anyone from the public wishing to speak to the committee today? All right, seeing none. Is there any old business to be brought forward from any committee members? Okay, let's move on. New business, 25-3158, authorizing the Will County Executive to execute a contract for state lobbying services. Is there a motion? Motion, Newquist, second Hickey. This is obviously a renewal of Mac Strategies. Any discussion on that? Can I get a previous roll? All those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? Opposed? We have one opposition. What does it count? 10-1, motion carries. Thank you. Resolution 25-3159, supporting the redefining of the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal. I believe everyone received that letter. Is that correct? No, Chief.
It's on the agenda.
Okay, okay, all right. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion Trinier, second Freeman, discussion. Ms. Trinier?
Thank you, Speaker Van Dyne. Yes, I received an email, probably because I'm involved in some of these rivers and lakes and EPA things. And the email just notified me that there is a group interested in renaming the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal because, well, it's just not a very appealing name. And they are looking to have the U.S. Board of Geographic Names, part of the U.S. Geological Survey Group, let them do this. And they're looking for support from Will County specifically because a large portion of that canal goes through our county. And I thought it would be nice to have a better name for it. We've certainly renamed every expressway around here. What the heck? Why not rename this thing since it has such a horrible name? So that's why I brought the letter forward to the executive committee, to the speaker, to have put on our executive committee agenda for today. Again, they're not asking us to pick a name. They're going to put together a group. I mean, I suppose if we wanted to be on it, I'm sure we could send a emissary to share what name we'd want them to do. But at any rate, I thought it was a good idea.
All right. Thank you for your comment. Anyone else? Can I ask for a roll call?
Richmond? Yes. Williams? Yes. Butler? Freeman?
Yes.
Hickey? Logan? Newquist? Ortiz? Pretzel? Trinier?
Yes.
Van Dyne?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion carries.
10-1.
10 to 1. Thank you. Before we continue, I believe Member Berkowitz has a statement or question.
Just a comment, Joe. In the letter that you have the draft on here in the first paragraph, the third line, I think we need to insert the word county. It says the will board at its October meeting,
Yeah,
so
I
just
noticed that.
insert county in there.
I noticed that too.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really, I like this.
All right. Thank you. All right. Moving on to number 3 under new business.
Julie.
25-2872, authorizing the county executive to execute an IGA with Town of St. John, Indiana, to provide access to countywide radio system.
Motion, Freeman.
Any discussion? Let's try to get a clean roll, please.
Richmond?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Butler? Freeman?
Yes.
Hickey? Logan? Newquist? Ortiz? Pretzel? Trinier? Van Dyne?
Yes.
11.
11-0, motion carries. Just housekeeping, they did fix the system up here, so I'm able to read your name and turn you off at any point during the meeting, so just, yes. That was a joke. Member Berkowitz, do you have a?
Yes, question for this item. So they have access to our countywide radio system. Do we have access to their radio as well? Because if there's a situation going on, does it go both ways or?
Mr.
Yeah.
Murray?
Good morning. Thanks for having me here. Yes, so this is an IGA with Indiana. This benefits specifically the fire districts on the very eastern side of the county that get mutual aid from them. Those departments have their own agreement with, I think it's Lake County, Indiana, to do the same thing. So yes, it absolutely goes both ways. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
Any other questions? I lost track. Do we have a motion? We have a motion and a second. Oh, it did pass. She asked after the fact. Thank you so much. All right, number 4. 25-3166, discussion, moving public hearings to Land Use and Development Committee. Just a brief description here. By state statute, we are supposed to have at least or minimum of 1 public hearing. I believe that we do have a public hearing at Planning and Zoning Committee. Mr. Pretzel also considers a public hearing the way he runs his committee during Land Use Committee. And then thirdly, we also have a public hearing during the full county board. I know there's been concern about the public being able to speak. I believe that we're going above and beyond what is required. We have plenty of options for the public to give their opinion. So conversation with Chair Pretzel and myself, we thought it would be a good idea to actually move the public hearing to Land Use Committee. And for those who are worried about getting the information, you can attend the Land Use Committee meeting yourself, and you can also talk to your caucus about it and also watch the video of the meeting. So this is for open discussion, and can I get a motion and a second, and then I will.
Motion.
Just for discussion? Okay. Yeah, you're right. It does say discussion. So let's go, Member Berkowitz.
Thank you, Joe. So is this suggesting that we're eliminating, I have a couple of questions. We're eliminating the public hearing at the planning and zoning meeting?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. And so we would essentially then just have a public hearing at Land Use and Committee. And then when it moves forward to the full county board, there's no public hearing.
There would be no public hearing, but also they have the opportunity to speak. It would just limit them, the timeframe to 3
So it'd
minutes.
be a comment
It-
more so.
Comment, yeah,
Okay.
basically. Yeah.
Okay, you know, my concern from what I've seen through the years is the issue was that people impacted, perhaps they couldn't make the land use committee meeting. However, they could attend the day of the board meeting. So that's I mean, is this being done with the concern of the time it's taking? Because I think we would be reducing the ability of our residents or businesses or whoever's interested in that particular case, we would be reducing that ability. And that's my concern for them to be present.
Okay. All right, Mr. Richmond?
So I just want to ensure that the public has the appropriate amount of time and to actually get their opinions heard or their voices heard. But also too, is that the state's attorney, I mean, we are 100% sure that, you know, we aren't violating anybody's, or we're in compliance, I guess is what.
Correct. You're not required to have anything at the county board. You have your one statutorily required hearing at the PZC. The county is always provided for a second at the county board, so it doesn't really matter where that second one is. Once the PCC has the hearing, that's all that's statutorily required.
So then, but if it's on an agenda item at a county board meeting, then the people can only talk during public comment then.
Correct, and they would not be, the people that speak during public comment, you cannot consider their comments as evidence. Now, that doesn't change anything. You could never consider their comments as evidence. It only was during the public hearing.
Yeah, and or outside conversations that were had other than in public hearing.
Right, you could not rely on those either, because they were not evidence before the public hearing.
Okay, and the public is only allowed 3 minutes to talk during those public comments.
During public comments, during the public hearing, there is no limit.
During public hearing, there is no, but if they come to the county board meeting, there's
Yes.
to be 3 minutes allotted per person.
Correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Member Ogala?
Thank you. So, when I was chairman, county executive wanted to make some changes to what we do at the board. And here's the thing, she has her own department, her own group, and we have ours. I think that we have found things that limit and continue to decrease the exposure we give to the public by doing various different things to shorten our time. I don't know why anyone on this board ran for office if you did not want to dedicate your time to doing the job. If we take away the public hearing from the county board meeting, then, and they can do public comment. Of course, they can do public comment. You can't hear it. You can't listen to it. So that means nothing. So if you don't have the opportunity just to attend PZC and you don't have the opportunity to go to land use or watch the meetings, then you're not actually hearing it at all, except for maybe the first time at the county board. If you allow this to happen, then when they're giving their public comment, you cannot ask them any questions because it's just a public comment. So you lose it at the full board, you lose the ability, man, I don't know how that happened. You lose the ability to ask questions at the full board meeting. I just think that we are looking at a situation where we want to, decrease the time we spend as county board members in our role to hear what the public has to say, to be able to ask questions and everything, because a lot of times after you've gone, and most people will probably just attend land use. I sit on land use, so I of course would be there. And it's very much like a public hearing, even though we don't say it's a public hearing. But I find that after I've learned information, I think about it and I understand all of it, or I've had more time to look at the information they've provided in a document, or look at the maps that we get from our land use department in more detail, once I understand the project completely. Therefore, my ideas and thoughts about a particular voting on a particular situation may change from the land use committee when we have not really public hearing to the full board meeting. So I think we limit ourselves by doing this, and it's open for discussion, so there's no vote, but I don't support this at all.
Thank you. And I did turn everyone's mic off because there was some backfeed, so I do have a list. I'll go with Member Newquist.
Thank you. I'm in favor of making this change because we essentially do have a public hearing at land use, and I'm assuming that we will be officially having a public hearing at land use if we make this change. So that's 2 public hearings. We're not removing the opportunity for a public hearing. And also, I really do think that public comment is sufficient. If there's something particularly compelling, we can always vote to suspend the rules, to allow questions at public comment if that was something that we wanted to do, correct?
So you certainly could, but again, because it's outside of a public hearing, it's not information.
We
you
still
can
could,
draw.
right.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I also find that most of the people that present information also do come to land use. So, I mean, a lot of times the information is somewhat redundant. So I'm in favor of at least trying this out. And if it really becomes a case where people feel that they are not being heard, we can always reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Member Pretzel. Go ahead and turn your mic on. There you go.
Yeah, I agree with Member Newquist on this one. I support this change. I think change is hard. And our initial reaction to something like this is, what are we trying to pull over on the public here? The only requirement is that we have a public hearing at PZC. So we don't have to have any other public hearings. And I think what we do at land use every month is essentially, everyone's saying essentially, but it's like a public hearing. We give them the opportunity to talk as long as they want, present any evidence they want, and it actually creates more confusion because at the end of it, they think there's going to be some resolution, there's going to be some vote that's consequential, but there's not. It's almost meaningless that they even come to committee because the vote means nothing. It's not even, it's I guess a recommendation. If we make that the public hearing, then it actually would give them that platform to present all their evidence. And then it does give us time to present that to other board members and give them the chance to watch the video or listen to the recording. It's not about my time. When I do care about how long our board meetings are, but it's not about me. It's about the people that come here and sit through these meetings for hours and hours, and all the attorneys that are here, all the staff that is here. It's wasteful. It doesn't make sense. And then we're doing the same thing by having another public hearing. And some of these people, you actually see it like where they've presented it 2-3 times now, and it's like they don't even want to present it for the 3rd time because they're burned out. I don't know. I just think that we need to make a change. This change makes the most amount of sense. And it would, I think, really help with the efficiency of our full board meetings. And I don't know. I don't know why anybody would be against it.
Thank you. Lear Williams.
My question has always been, how did it get in the full board meeting in the first place? And nobody can seem to answer that. I'm reluctant to remove something that it's like a union contract. Reluctant to take something out of the contract that somebody put in there for a reason. I haven't gotten any answers as to why we started having the public hearings at the county board meeting in the first place. And until I do, I'm still hesitant to remove it. Somebody thought that was a good idea, and it has been done for a long time. So if I can't get that answer, then I'm reluctant to remove it.
We can have our chief of staff and maybe the state's attorney look into that and get you that answer. Thank you for that. Member Butler?
I will do my best to present an answer to that. First, I'd like to say that government isn't easy. It is hard. And the failure of a government is when the people are not willing to do the work. And the reason that I like the hearing to be at the board is because it'll be before the elected people. So what you want to do, or be in front of the people who were elected by the people, to clarify. What we would be doing is basically having two public hearings before two boards that were appointed. Now, I get the fact that one of them consists of elected officials appointed by the chair. So it could be the chair could pick the people that were on the board that may not fully represent the county as the people see it. So it puts undue power in the hands of one person. So if you have it in front of the board, then that power was placed in the board by the people and it's fair. So you have one that is appointed by the executive and one that is appointed by the people. So it makes perfect sense. So I would be opposed to taking it away from the board.
Thank you. You are correct that the chair does have the ultimate decision, or the speaker, to appoint the land use committee. However, I know due to my experience, myself and the previous chairs have always worked with the leaders from both sides of the party to combine both parties into that committee. So you are correct, but
And to clarify,
yeah.
I address you because you're the chair, but I am not accusing you.
Right.
We have to think about everything that happens after this and put a format down that'll be fair, that withstands the test of time. Did not mean you. It could be anybody.
Right, yeah.
And I don't even know the makeup of the board.
Mhm.
I mean, it could be, more Republicans and Democrats. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in fairness, that's a consideration that has to be taken into mind.
Thank you. Member Chenier?
Thank you, Speaker Van Dyne. I'm in favor of giving this a try. I have had to use attorneys in my lifetime, and they are a very expensive commodity. And really to cause landowners or applicants to have to pay those extra fees because we've decided that we need to hear from them more than once. I did request a couple months ago, and I did note that we are now getting the YouTube videos of the Planning and Zoning Committee. So we have an opportunity to look at the public hearing there. We have an opportunity to look at the one through our Land Use Committee. If we are doing our jobs as board members, and I assume everybody here is, that you are diligently watching these videos so that you see what questions are asked at the first one. And maybe if you have a question, you can show up at the Land Use Committee to ask a question if you have a further question. But if you can't, you can always reach out to another board member who I'm sure would be happy to ask your question and get the answer for you. And again, we're not limiting their speech because they still have time to speak at our full board meeting for up to 3 minutes. We can extend that time if we feel like we need to. But again, I know that it's not supposed to be a part of the LaSalle factors and the things that we look at because it wasn't in a public testimony. But again, it's still additional information that you receive, and you could say you're not supposed to consider it, but unless you go like this while they're speaking, it's really going to be hard to not consider that, And we do question people sometimes during public comment if we're unsure of what they said. So I say give it a shot. If it proves to be problematic and people are still feeling like they're not getting all the testimony they need to make their decisions, anything can be reversed on this board. We cannot hold future boards to the standards that we choose to follow today. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Freeman?
Thank you. I am in support of this. I often come to all the committee meetings. So I take my elected position quite seriously, as some of you know. And I know that some of you can't because you have jobs or children or, taking care of your parents. But as Member Trainer said, these are going to be available. The PZC is now being available to us. We have the staff's report. It is expensive to have people come 3 times. They're having to take off work to come and get a special permit. So I do agree with Frankie. We're still, by law, providing more opportunity. So I think that the constituents will actually appreciate us consolidating this and not making them come 3 times.
Thank you. Back to Mr. Pretzel.
Thank you. So regarding Member Butler's comments, that in no way are we trying to take the power away from the elected board members. There's no vote happening. We're not trying to change where we vote on these issues, right? It's just where the public hearing is. The public hearing doesn't go away. It's recorded. You're welcome to come see it in person. So it's not like we're taking power away from the board members. You still get to vote. It doesn't matter where the public hearing is. So I don't know if I'm saying that clearly or not, but even if it was all Democrat appointed land use committee, it doesn't change the fact that the public hearing is on record. The vote that takes place at the committee meeting is really just a recommendation to the board. So you're not changing anything other than we're making our full board meeting much more efficiently run, which I think the public would appreciate. And I also think it's, we're spending we talk a lot about being fiscally responsible, but we don't really think about how many staff members are sitting here for hours and hours a month listening to us argue or having a third public hearing. So I don't know. I think it makes a lot of sense.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ogala, I do see your name. I'm going to try to go through the committee members. If I need to do a better job at that first, but I do have you in the queue. So I'll go back to Sherry Newquist.
Thank you. Just quickly, as Frankie, or as Member Pretzel just said, I understand Member Butler's concerns, but even if Land Use Committee votes unanimously against something, it still goes to the full county board. We're not really deciding anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Butler?
Yeah, so I'm not talking about voting. I'm talking about representing the people during a public hearing. So that's when their voices can be heard by their representatives in, the argument or during the hearing. That I think it's important, just as important as that recommendation or that vote that they give.
Thank you. Mr. Logan? You good? Member Hickey?
Thank you. I think this is a huge conspiracy because Member Newquist wants to keep the record for the shortest land use meeting. So I'm obviously kidding. But I have come to land use even though I'm not on the committee, and I have felt welcome to ask questions. And I think it's a really well-run committee. And I have been to PZC, and I have to say we don't give those folks enough thank yous because they do a great job too. So I'm very comfortable with this as long as if we get down the road and we see it's not working for whatever reason, we'll reconsider. But thank you.
Thank you. Member Trenier? You're good? Ms. Ogala?
Thank you.
Mrs.
So I just want to say that, thank you, Joe, for being the speaker and having that fair mind and taking in the Democrat and Republican leaders and forming the committees. I appreciate that. I also sat on this board at a time when we had a person in the speaker role. I was the only chairman. I feel very important to have that unique title.
You are.
Thank you. But anyway, I remember at a time that we were a 50-50 board at that time, yet the committees were very slanted towards the Democrat side of the aisle and not the Republican side of the aisle. And so if you have a committee like that that's hearing it, hearing the public hearing, and I agree, our land use committee is sort of like a public hearing. We just don't call it a public hearing. A lot of times, you know what, you're not going to be able to have the time to look at or listen to or possibly even make a phone call to find out what's going on. Maybe not attend your caucus, but you do rely on the vote count out of planning and zoning. You do rely on the vote count out of land use, recommendation of 0 to 0 to 7, 7 to 0, 3, 4, whatever the number is. And you do take that into consideration when you're looking at something. So I just think it's good the way it is. I like the ideas that you've come up with, putting public comment at the beginning of our meeting. That way people don't have to stay around forever. If you had the public hearing still at county board, that's at the beginning because land use is first. So I'm just telling you guys what I've seen over the course of time, what has happened, and it's just, I think it's important, and not everyone will take the time to, or has the time to look at these videos. And unfortunately, some people don't even make contact with their caucuses. Thanks.
Thank you. I see no other comments. So I did hear both sides of the discussion, and it seems like there's people in favor and there are people that are opposed. So I plan on presenting this next month to the board again. Go ahead. Okay. Go ahead so everyone can hear.
We had a conversation with the state's attorney's office and we took a look at the county board rules. The way the county board rules are written, they have a draft agenda that is included in the county board rules. And despite the fact that there has been a public hearing at the county board for many years, the public hearing is not actually in the draft or the draft agenda for the county board. So it's really not required. You know, it's a matter of, I suppose, the discretion of the speaker to make a determination as to where to place that public hearing. And clearly, after having a conversation with the state's attorney's office, the speaker is free to make that determination based upon whatever comments he's received from the county board, but it is not in the actual draft of the county board agenda. So.
Okay. Thank you for that. And do you agree, Kevin?
Yeah, and Chuck summarized our conversation.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that was for discussion only. Thank you for all your comments. So with that said, we'll move on. Is there any other new business to be brought forward from this committee? Seeing none, I really don't want a request for the state's attorney's opinion. Just kidding. I don't think we have a request. Committee reports, Chair Trenier for Public Works and Transportation.
Seems like it was a lifetime ago, but it was just last week or last Tuesday. We had a very nice meeting and I think everything passed, and so it will be on a consent agenda. I feel like we had kind of a long discussion at the beginning. If my memory was working, I could tell you what it was about. But I've been focusing on something else this afternoon, or this morning, I should say.
I see you do have 4 items that were approved unanimous, and it's all on the consent agenda.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we should be fine.
thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Public Health and Safety, Chair Butler. Oh, I have 2 different agendas. My apologies. All right, let's go with capital improvements and IT. Chair Freeman.
Thank you. We have nothing to bring forward. We are having a discussion about what we feel our needs, our facility needs are. Mr. Oxley and I will be sitting down and hopefully putting our heads together and coming up with some priorities. So if you have any suggestions, please reach out to one of us.
Thank you. Chair of Finance, Chair Newquist.
I don't have anything except to remind everybody that we have another special finance committee meeting this month on October 21st. I believe at 10 o'clock, but I can double check the time on that. And hopefully, if anyone has questions, concerns, issues about the budget, now's the time to bring them forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, Legislative Chair, Chair Ortiz.
Thank you, Speaker Van Dyne. So this month we have one resolution to bring forward, though I don't know if this is the place to discuss possibly postponing that.
If you may, I can add some comments to that.
Yeah, so I don't know if I make that motion or if I just.
I can, after I explain, yeah. So, I had talked to Chair Ortiz about the resolution, and I've heard some comments from the board members. I've come up with some ideas myself that I would like to discuss with Chair Ortiz and open to more conversation with the rest of the board. So if the chair is comfortable, I would like to remove that resolution from next week's agenda, and we can further our conversations if that's okay with you. So I would make that motion at the end of this committee meeting.
Okay, yes, I just wanted to say that I do support the postponement of the resolution so that we can bring more people to the table and strengthen it together. I truly appreciate everyone who's willing to come together in good faith to work towards a common goal of keeping our people safe. So taking time to collaborate and make this resolution stronger is only going to make our county stronger too. So I do support that.
Okay, thank you. Is there a comment, Ms. O'Gallagher?
I do. How many public comments have we received for the October 16th meeting in regards to this particular resolution? Do we know?
We've received in excess of 200 comments and actually probably maybe closer to 300 comments at this point as well. We'll be sending them out to the county board. We're in the process right now of preparing those, getting them into a share file, and then we'll be sending them out to the county board and then also attaching them to the county board agenda as well.
Okay, so the thing is, we won't be attaching them to the agenda for this month, will you? You will be attaching them this month, even though it's not on the agenda?
We received them for this month, and
So you
that's
would put it
typically,
on.
that we would put them in the appropriate place, correct?
Okay. So postponing it is, the desire to bring this resolution forward was thought out. There was support for it. And postponing it is really like a disservice to the public because simply the fact that they're aware of it. They know that we're supposed to be having a vote on October 16th. They may have planned time to come to the county board meeting and have that discussion here regarding this resolution. And now we'd be postponing it till I don't know what the planned time would be. So I think that when we bring resolutions forward, we should want to go ahead and stick with them. And I'll just say one more thing. This resolution is actually more like a proclamation. And we remove proclamations from our agendas because of the diversity that it caused within our caucuses. And now this resolution is very much like that. And so I don't know what the thought is because it's like a proclamation resolution. Thank you.
And Ms. Ogala, you are not the only one that feels that way with my conversations with some of the board members from both sides. I just wanted to give myself and also the members and Chair Ortiz to maybe take a deeper look at the resolution and come up with some different ideas. So I will apologize to the public if they plan on making their statements. You guys will receive the emails as were written to the current resolution. But I think after conversations, there could be some adjustments made. So that is the reason for that. Comments on that resolution, I'll go to Mr. Butler and then Ms. Berkowitz.
So I'm glad to see this is going to be postponed. I will be in opposition of it, mainly because most of the statements put in there were false. There was no factual data to back it up. There was accusations of a kidnapping at a courthouse. None of that happened. I checked with the sheriff. I mean, we got to be careful when we make statements like this and ask to have resolutions. We have to be factual.
And that this gives us an opportunity to talk to the sheriff's department and all the other departments to try to gather, more information and correct information. So,
Which I have.
okay,
And that's how I know that they were false.
all right.
And that would be a disservice to this county board to even attempt to put something like that out there.
Thank you. Ms. Berkowitz?
Thank you. So during legislative, I asked for the sheriff and possibly the chief judge or somebody to come to legislative to talk about this. I wanted to hear, I wanted them to inform us. If they've informed Chair Ortiz, fine, but then they can come to committee and they can talk to the board members as well. So either way, they come and confirm it or they tell us it didn't happen. But I would like them to come to the county board and come to legislative because that's where this all occurred. It was this committee. This is a legislative item, not an executive committee item. It's a legislative item. So I would like to see them there. And then also this is, we had what is the definition of a resolution? Because I don't know what the purpose of this is. These are not actions that the county can impose. We can't tell them they can't wear face masks. We don't have that authority. So we got rid of proclamations. So what is the definition of a resolution moving forward? I think that we need to have that. Every board member should be given that so we can proceed accordingly and maybe not get sidetracked or have these, debates where this isn't relevant, doesn't fit the criteria.
So,
It's a policy,
we
actually.
will get the definition of a proclamation and also the definition of a resolution to every board member so we can review what exactly that means. So thank you for your comment. Yep. Ms. Freeman?
Thank you. So I supported getting rid of proclamations because they had turned into something that I didn't feel that we needed to be doing as a county board. And there were several that came through in the, after that point. And I was informed that proclamations can't be used in resolution form. I think it was Kim Flathammer and I had this discussion. And so several have come through. I have voted in various ways. There was one on heavy trucks, and I actually voted for it. But I was against some others, and I guess I wasn't cautious enough in checking to make sure, is this a resolution that actually does something? This one, however, would actually have gone somewhere and encouraged something, which is something more than, say, the Farm Bureau, where it was just acknowledging, our fondness of farms and the importance of them in our community. I think we have to be careful if we don't want to look like we're for it today, but not tomorrow. So this particular resolution, I am happy to see that it would be worked on, and there's always room for improvement. And I think that it is in our neighborhood, and we as county members, we do need to be aware of why it's happening in our neighborhoods. And I've been struggling with this. I think I had a conversation with you and, I struggled with this, but I think that it is something that is here and we are going to have to address it at some point. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair Ortiz?
Yes, thank you. So I think it would really be helpful for us to get those definitions of the proclamation and the resolution. From what I know, proclamations are more honorary and celebratory as far as, honoring a certain person or celebrating a certain month. And resolutions are by definition a formal opinion of the board or committee. And we have passed several resolutions in this under my leadership as legislative chair. Namely, we've passed the Safe Foods Resolution, which was kind of the same concept where we're saying, this is what we support, this is why we support it, and then we send it off to our state legislators so that they know our formal opinion. Again, a resolution is not like an ordinance. It does not create law, but it is a formal opinion from us as a legislative body to communicate what our stance is for our federal legislators and our state legislators to know. So that is by definition what a resolution is. And again, we've passed several of these. I think the last one we passed was against bigger trucks, which again, it was taking a stance. We don't have the jurisdiction to make any changes as far as that goes. But again, this is our way of coming together and letting our state legislators know or federal legislators know this is what we stand for or against. This is the same concept. This resolution is telling our state and our federal legislators that we need to stand for our U.S. Constitution. Just the other day, a federal judge ruled that ICE is violating constitutional laws in Chicago and that they need to release those people who they have unjustly detained. And so this very document is going to, again, reaffirm our commitment to upholding the Fifth Amendment, that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And again, I just want to emphasize that it doesn't say no citizen, it says no person, because our founders understood that these protections exist to safeguard every person. But we've seen that these promises are being broken across Illinois and even as close as in Naperville. Just last month, federal agents surrounded a home where roofers were working. They removed the ladders. They forced the workers to jump from the roof. They detained them at gunpoint. And every single one of those workers were legally documented. So this isn't just about protecting, like a lot of misinformation is going around regarding this resolution. It's not about protecting illegal immigration at all. It's about taking a stance because it's not just immigrants who are being targeted. It is legal residents. It is people who look like an immigrant. We've had.
Point of order, are we talking about whether or not we are going to submit this or whether we're going to consider this? Or are we debating it? Debating whether or not its merit is correct or not? We're saying that the statements were in it were not right. You agreed that it needs to be readdressed. We are not considering the resolution for approval by the board. So can we please move on?
That was going to be my suggestion, but I don't know how to handle the point of order. So I would just like to ask the committee. Thank you, Chair Ortiz. If you absolutely need to speak on this item, I totally intend on removing this.
Removing or postponing?
Well, postponing the resolution so the members of the board can give their input and try to massage it to make it more just it needs a little work, and I've heard from both sides. So thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Newquist, do you have a statement?
Yes, and this is about the format, not about the content.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been a little puzzled by the way that this is worded. I'm not 100% sure what we're actually trying to accomplish.
Point of order, are we discussing postponing or are we discussing the format and the content?
Well, actually, it's,
Because
we
it-
are under public health and, I'm sorry, we are under legislative agenda. And that was one of your items that was on the
If
agenda.
she's allowed to talk about it, I would like to finish my comment, please.
Okay. All right.
I was cut off during my comment. I didn't get to finish.
I'm sorry, Chair Ortiz. I thought you were finished, but
No, I was not. He called point of order in the middle of my
Okay.
comment.
Would it be okay if me as chair decided to move on, since my intention is to move this item, postpone this item for further work?
I would appreciate if you did. I just don't see that it's fair that I don't get to finish my comments, but other people get to
All right.
proceed in comments. So if we could move on completely, I'd be okay with that, please.
She's correct about that.
All right. I'm gonna, as chair, I'm gonna just say that we're gonna move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
No. All right. Moving on to Public Health and Safety, Chair Butler.
Thank you. The state's attorney was not able to make last month's meeting, so I just want to confirm that they'll be at the next month's meeting.
There's never been a formal ask as far as I know. We can
Well, during the last meeting, during the last executive meeting, it was in the minutes that I had requested that the state's attorney be there. And I was told that they couldn't make it. So I would like to be sure that next month, the state's attorney will be at the public health and safety meeting.
I will discuss that matter with the state's attorney.
The request was heard. Thank you, Mr. Butler. Land Use and Development, Chair Pretzel.
Yeah, we had a nice, easy agenda. Nothing was too controversial, so read your packet, but it should be pretty
Thank
simple.
you. We did landfill, Chair Schlotman, Vice Chair Hickey.
We did not have a meeting. Our next meeting is October 4th at 9 a.m. here in this building. We will have a report, October 14th, I'm sorry. We will have a presentation by Mr. Fallon from Geologic Consultants and Mr. Hartke with an update about litter.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Leader Richmond, did you have a comment before we move on?
You know, we kind of moved on already, so what I'll do is I'll hold it till,
All right, I
Later.
apologize for not seeing your
Eh.
light. Come on.
all right.
Executive Committee, we just went through our items. Appointments by the county executive, 25-3048, approving county executive appointments to the Sunny Hill Sanitary District of Will County. Is there a motion? Motion Hickey. Second Newquist. Any discussion on the appointment? Roll call, please.
Richmond? Williams? Butler?
Yes.
Freeman? Hickey? Logan?
Yes.
Newquist? Ortiz? Pretzel?
Yes.
Trinier? Van Dyne?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion carries unanimous. Resolution 25-3045, approving county executive appointments to the Merit Commission of Will County. Is there a motion? Motion Hickey, second Freeman, previous roll. Thank you. Second Williams. All those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? That motion will carry. Comments by the county board members? No. All right, no comments. This is written like a county board agenda for some reason. So I'll follow along. Announcements are by the Republican leader, Democratic leader, or county board speaker. Does anyone wish to speak? Mr. Leader Richmond.
So we may need a minute to understand if we have to take a vote on the postponement. So I'm just, that's why I've just been possible.
Hold on. Hang on, Mr. Butler. Let him finish.
But does it have to be voted on?
I'm gonna make a motion.
Oh, you're gonna.
Here at the end before we pass it on to full board.
All right, sorry, there was a conversation going on. You just wanted to make sure.
Very good. Board Member Trinier, do you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're going to approve the agenda as amended. You've already said you're going to remove that. As the speaker, you decide what goes on the agenda. And that would assume this. I mean,
Agenda. It was already on the agenda.
but now we're doing this agenda.
Okay. All right, I was just
Our executive committee agenda needs to be approved to pass on to the full board, and I intend on making a motion to remove that item.
Correct. I was just trying to make sure that from the back,
Yes.
back here, that we were all happy with everything. So the only thing I did want to do is talk before is this board, we've been trying to get more cohesive group. And I think the other day we kind of pulled a pin on a hand grenade based on the public comments. We've got to be very careful on what we say, how we say it, how things are framed, because the public gets that information, and whether it's true or false, they pick up on it, and things happen. Phone calls are made by journalists, phone calls are made by citizens. This isn't good for us. I mean, we need, we're trying to build relationships, trying to work together for the good of the citizens. And then this comes up. What it does then is it creates feelings, good, bad, or indifferent, mainly bad, within our the people that are sitting here representing our citizens. So I think we just got to be very careful on how we move forward with this, Joe. I mean, I know it was down party lines, 4 on the other side of the aisle, 3 against on our side of the aisle. And so I think you kind of know the way, we'll be viewing this thing based on, and how the public's going to view it based on the comments that came in. So that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want to create any more trouble. I just,
And
I want to move this forward.
And you're right, Jim. And that has been my goal this whole time, is to try to get both sides to work together and come to some type of compromise. As Ms. Ogala knows, when you have the ultimate decision and you have county board members lobbying to bring something forward, it's a very hard job. And, it's a sensitive subject, and there's feelings on both sides, and I want to try to be fair. I put things on agendas from both sides of the aisle, and this is where these discussions happen. Sometimes it's a little bit more controversy than others, but it's a very tough spot to be in as speaker. So I appreciate that, and I do understand that we do have a good relationship, and I want to continue for this board to grow. With that being said, I believe Leader Williams would like to add something.
Yes, I would. I do agree with Leader Richmond that we were going along pretty good there. And then, of course, we hit this bump. But when you are a split board, we're going to have these things happen. So we have got to learn how to deal with them better than what we do. And I'm going to get back on my soapbox about the strategic plan again, because it is moving forward, and I do think that it will help us. One of the things that I know that she's going to do is to try to do some team building. And that to me is a very important aspect of trying to move forward. And if we get our priorities together, perhaps we won't, the things that are controversial such as this won't be as prevalent, and we will be able to move forward like we want to. And I do think that this board is capable of it. It's just a matter of getting us to the place where we can do it. So. Well, I mean, you know what, Jackie, the fact of the matter is, if we learn how to act as adults, I'm thinking that some of this stuff can stop all the time. And I'm here to help anybody that wants to learn how to be an adult, if you guys need any help with that. So
At some point, I might take you up.
Okay, but yes, the strategic plan is moving forward. I just
Okay,
wanted to say
thank
that.
you so much. Okay, now, there's no need for executive session, so I would like to make a motion to amend the county board agenda to add items approved out of executive committee today, also removing, postponing. I'm sorry.
So make them one at a time.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to postpone.
Do you have to say until when you're postponing?
No, I don't believe so. Resolution 25-3117, the resolution declaring Will County's commitment.
Second
There's a motion
motion.
and by Ortiz, a second by Freeman. Previous roll.
No discussion.
Okay, discussion. Yes, sir.
I would like to amend the motion to remove resolution 25-3117. We're not going to postpone it because it is not going to come back as written because we know the statements are false. So we're going to remove it and she can resubmit it in a more responsible manner.
All right, there's a motion to amend. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Pretzel. Discussion on the amendment to remove the resolution. Discussion, Jackie Trenier.
Thank you, Speaker Van Dyne. We postpone things frequently because we aren't ready to vote on them and then tweaks or changes are made. I don't see this item as being any different. I was not in favor of the item because I did feel the way that it was written, it was more of a proclamation. But despite the fact that, I wasn't in favor of the current language, it doesn't make sense to remove it if we're going to bring it back in some other form. It's still a resolution that was made by a chair of a committee. Postponing it to me seems appropriate. We can rewrite the whole thing and, make it talk about the Mickey Mouse Club if we want to. But, it's a postponement.
Thank you. Ms. Newquist?
Just a point, if we postpone it, we either have to postpone indefinitely or we have to postpone to a specific date. So given that we might, and what I was going to comment on the form of it, I'll address with you separately. But given that the form of it might change substantially, is it more legally correct to remove it? I'm not sure, and that's why I'm asking the question.
We'll get you the answer, Mr. Myers.
So it's really what the board wants to do. If they want to put it over for a month or 2 months, whatever, or if they put it indefinitely, it can be brought back at any different time.
Okay.
So-
Does that answer your question? Chair Ortiz?
That answers the postponement, but she asked the legal question of whether or not it was more responsible to say remove since the content will be all changed.
No, not responsible, legally correct. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I don't make determines on what's more responsible, but if they have the same effect to a certain extent, because again, as was pointed out, you could reenact this whole thing as a completely different thing as by a floor amendment. So legally, the effect of this, again, it's not legally binding on the federal government anyways. So I'm not concerned of how you do this, or the state government for that matter. So I'm not concerned how it's done. Either would be procedurally correct.
I would
Okay.
be in support of postponing indefinitely.
All right, so we're going to talk about the amendment about complete removal. Any other comments on complete removal? Mr. Butler?
If she is willing to postpone indefinitely, I would remove my amendment to that.
Your amendment is removed. Thank you. All right, so the motion, I'm looking for a motion to postpone. Let me get this correct. I'm looking for a motion to postpone indefinitely Resolution 25-3117. Is there a motion by Butler, seconded by Ortiz? Any discussion? Motion is to postpone the resolution indefinitely. We have a first and a second. Can I have a roll call?
Richmond. Williams. Butler. Freeman. Hickey. Logan. Newquist. Ortiz. Pretzel. Trenier. Van Dyne.
Yes. Motion carries. I'm also looking for a motion to add item 25-3169, amending the liquor control ordinance. This has come last minute to be put on the full board for consideration. I believe Mr. Pelkey will send that out, or it'll be on our full board agenda for your review. So I'm looking for a motion to add that. Motion Newquist, second Williams. Any discussion? Ms. Ogala?
What are we doing? Are we just gonna amend it to add another liquor license? Thank you.
Is that correct? Yes. Yes. Okay. Any other comments or questions on that? Can previous roll? Second, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Now I would like a motion to approve the county board agenda as amended. Motion Freeman, second Trinier. Previous Newquist, second Logan. All those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Our next meeting is scheduled for November 13th, 2025. Motion to adjourn. Motion Freeman, second Logan. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed to adjournment? No one. Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.